Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, a few years ago when we finally got this big old room, which once used to be my dance studio / martial arts studio, it was a room that we had expanded on. It had one time when this house was first built, there was a 2-car garage here, like a small 2-car garage. And then the family that had this somewhere along the way converted that into a family room. And then in 97, 96 or something like that, we took all of the concrete foundation out for that was there because of the 2-car garage, took everything out, doubled the size of the room because I already by this point had my dance studio going and it was growing. I had so many students and that room was just getting way too small and we needed a new roof anyway. So we just redid the whole thing and made the hall bigger. I did that. I taught dance here for about 28, 29 years. And I taught martial arts for like 8 years or something out of the same room. And then just before I started my YouTube channel, I retired from the teaching the different classes because I knew it was time for me to focus my teaching into doing what I'm doing now. And so through the years though of having my channel, there was a lot that happened, like Patrick making this countertop, and down here we've got the old cabinets, lower cabinets from the kitchen from when he remodeled that. He kept those, refinished them, put them in here so I could have a place to store a lot of things. And then we converted this room into just a multi-purpose room. It's an entertainment room. It's an expanded dining room because it's a lot bigger than the little one, original one. So when we have a lot of company, this is the best place. And we've got a pool table, a ping pong table, and a foosball table. And anyway, a few years ago, when we first got a lot of this stuff, I did do a video tour of this room. So I will link to that video down below because that's not what this one's going to be. I'm not sure in that video if we had the ping pong table that my oldest son bought for us. So that's been nice to have. It doesn't get used as much as the pool table and foosball table, but it gets used occasionally. And sometimes it gets used for other things as well. So the one thing I never showed in the tour was my sewing room, which then eventually became more than just a sewing room. And the reason why was because it was so unorganized and such a huge mess. And then every time I do another skirt order or apron order, I was constantly having to dig through stuff. I kept trying to keep things organized, but it became nearly impossible. And so by taking a sabbatical rest this year from our garden, it actually gave me time to really focus on that room. I'm not going to say it's beautiful. It's just a room for storing things. Just keep that in mind. But I thought it would be fun to go ahead and finally give you guys a tour of that room now that I've got it all straightened out. And that way you can kind of get an idea of the types of things I store in there as well. And why it is actually so nice having an extra room. And by the way, the reason Patrick built it was because I was getting so many fabrics and I hated the way all these piled up fabrics looked. I didn't have a good place to store them. So he built basically a couple of false walls, or what they are, so that I can hide all that mess from the rest of this room. So when we have company over, it just doesn't look like a pile of trash over there. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of that, and so you can just see what it looks like now, how I've got it organized, and how I utilize that stuff in there. And just keep in mind, something I've never shown before, so I'm a little nervous, but I thought some of you may enjoy going along for the ride. I'll start from right here. There's a corner I was just standing in with my dehydrators, my 2 dehydrators stacked on top of each other. And then there's the ping pong table. And so this section right here, so you got to imagine there was a time, this is one big room and this little extra room was not here. That's the room I'm talking about. So we're heading back here. That's a baby changing station. So it's been a blessing to have. Out there you can see my front deck garden and my treadle sewing machine, which that thing's a workhorse, love it. And I have videos on how to use it, by the way. And then this, it's not going to make a lot of sense. I've got 2 side-by-side desks. Obviously, the one in the back doesn't get used much for... Usually, I just pile all my sewing projects up here, which is what's right there right now. These are sewing projects I hope to get done today or tomorrow. And How or why this ended up in here, I don't remember, but I use it. It works out great. It's mostly a lot of Patrick stuff, but I also have some of my stuff in there for sewing to keep it easy. And then I keep my thread in here. I've got some of my own homemade patterns and some extra belts for my sewing machine. And there, just some of the vintage books I collected over the years. This set here, I paid only $2 for. And it starts in like 1901, 1910, I don't remember. So before we go back into that room where that second desk is, okay, I decided to shut the curtains behind me so that would be easier to see what I'm doing here. So these tall Costco bought shelves, you can see threads hanging off, but all my fabrics, or all the fabrics that are in here anyway, are arranged by color. And once I got everything arranged, I got rid of a lot of unnatural fabrics like polyesters and some blends, and I tried to keep it down to just the cottons for in here. And so that's what's going on here, arranged by color. And then what you see, these little boxes here, they're 10 by 10 because these are all the squares cut out over the years from skirts that I've made, which are 10 by 10. So I have all reds in here, blues, greens, down there are browns. So I got these little fabric boxes so I could organize all those into one place because I never had that organized that way. Now coming over here, you'll see there's our the half-gallon chambers we have. This is where I dry my soaps. So I'm going to have to get busy and make some more soaps. What this is the same kind of rack that Patrick made. There's two of them here as drying racks. But back when I was selling soaps, I used to have this thing filled up with soaps. I had to keep making soaps all the time. And so that's why I had so much here. And then when I turn here, it's just a collection of shelves we've picked up at garage sales from my mom's after she passed away. And I was so thrilled that I was able to make enough space on these shelves that I can move our games into here. I have space down here where I could put some more games, which makes sense to have them in here so that when we have company, you know, because this is our game room just on the other side there. This is basically my yarn overflow. I have a whole closet just for yarn. But this is like the overflow, the extra. And you can see this is just some random stuff. I do have, you know, a few other kid-related stuff in here, including the Rock'em Sock'em that we bought for our kids. I found that back in Ryan's room. And then some different fabrics up here, kind of organized sort of by types. I got a lot of the country type theme stuff in here, chickens and whatnot. Stuff that didn't really just have like a main color to sort them out with. Right here is just a bunch more flannels. These are great for using for quilt backs and more. And then little baskets of just different, like some more squares like white and ivory, and then some random fabrics and some, you know, pillow and quilt stuffing and liners. Here's another one. This basket here, and then over there, those are skirts that I'd cut out and never finished. They're all cut out, ready to go together, but I never got them finished. And then more boxes of colored squares. I actually have an empty shelf there. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to put in there. I have some soap making supplies here, some of them. And right there, because I don't have my room in my kitchen for my crock pot, that's where that goes. And then these are the lids for the chambers. I only got 3 quart chambers right now ready. Patrick's gonna have to get more made. Here's my little container of buttons and snaps. And then up there is just a lot of random stuff. We've got a projector, we've got a screen, my mom's old Pfaff sewing machine, some of Patrick's stuff, some of his motorcycle stuff. This is all baby stuff that used to just take up so much room. I managed to figure out how to pile it up there and stack it because I don't really want to get rid of it yet in case we have more grandbabies. And just miscellaneous stuff, shipping envelopes and some fall decor that I'm going to be pulling out here real soon. Well, I will have already pulled it out by the time you see this video. I keep some paper cups, plates, and stuff for usually for barbecues or whatever, but that's something that would actually go out to the property because I don't usually use that stuff here. And then here's the back side of that shelf. Now, when I scan down here, this is a blow-up bed. I haven't quite figured out a good place for that. And then this is 3 boxes, 4, counting that one, of just denim. Denim for making quilts with, old jeans and whatnot. And if I turn over here and you look under that desk, guess what? There's even more. There's even more. So I have to say this, even though it may not be pretty, this is a huge accomplishment because there was a time you could not even walk all the way into this room. Just enough where you could get into their drawers because this is where we keep some of our important paperwork. And then the desk was piled high with sewing projects, fabrics, and whatnot. And now I actually have, with this desk, I have a work area where I can lay fabrics out and cut things out. And then same thing here. If I've got a lot of projects, I can move this lamp anywhere. I just have it here for now, but I can use that area for sorting out my different projects I have going on. So it is definitely nice to be able to have this area and have it not be such a big mess, and things are a lot better organized. Oh, by the way, that was me when I was a senior in high school. And then this here was a thing that back when after I'd been teaching for 26 years, a couple of my students had made for me. So anyway, that's the room. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed my tour of my sewing room, craft room, everything else room. And don't forget to check out the tour of this whole big room that I did a few years ago that I'll be linking to down below. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.